Hey guys, it's Aislinn, and in today's video, we're going to be trying some new shades that Wella released. A while ago, they released a new product. This is basically the same thing as L'Oreal High Color High Lift. It's basically Wella's version. So this color is specifically for dark tones. So if your hair is naturally really dark, these shades allow you to go copper or really bright red without having to bleach. I absolutely love these in the L'Oreal High Color. It's just an easy way for people who have dark hair to be able to go lighter without having to bleach their hair first. These also don't bleed as bad as bleaching your hair and then using a semi-permanent color. So I love these. I think these are a great option for people who want to go red or copper. So they released 5 new shades. I will link the video I did when they initially launched a few shades up here. So if you guys want to see what other colors they have, go watch that and then come back here. So you mix this up a 1:1 ratio and you use 30 volume developer. It is important to use a higher volume developer so that way you're going to get that extra lift and deposit. The whole point of this color is to not have to bleach your hair. So if you use anything less than a 30 volume, you're not going to get as vivid of results. 30 volume is like the perfect volume to get a lot of lift from your dark hair, and then it's going to deposit those brighter tones. So let's go ahead and run through the 5 new shades. The first shade is Fiery Copper. Then we have Chili Red, Glowing Garnet, Purple Orchid, and the last shade and one I'm most excited about is Blue Moon. I know if this works, it's going to be a game changer for all of those people out there who like a super like bluish black toned hair. I know a lot of people who dye their hair black consistently, they can never get it black enough, or they want it to be blue black, but they can't get it to like that blue black color. So I'm really excited to see how this color performs today. So we have copper, red, purple, and we have blue. So they are extending on their pre-existing color line quite a bit. I do have 2 different swatches we're going to be trying the color on today. We have a lighter medium brown shade, and then we have a really dark toned brown. So I'm going to be trying them on both of these today to see what results we get. Normally I would try these on blonde hair too, but I just feel like there's no point in trying them on blonde hair. These are extremely high lift colors, and I would never grab these with 30 volume and put them on my hair. So if I was going to use these on a swatch, I would want to mix them up with 10 volume developer to see what they do. Then I'd have to create a whole different batch of color. I would have to separate the swatches. So we're going to not do blonde today. These colors aren't meant for blonde hair anyway, so I'm not going to be doing blonde swatches. We're just going to focus on the darker tones, which this color was meant for. Let's go ahead and set up my second camera angle and start swatching. Going in with the first shade, Fiery Copper. Here's what the Fiery Copper looks like mixed up, and it's pretty before it even starts oxidizing. It's such a gorgeous, like really vivid pumpkin-y orange color. All right, here we go. I'm gonna put this all over. I'm really excited to see the difference between the darker swatch and that more like lighter medium toned brown. I'm curious if there's gonna be a really big color difference, or if it really doesn't matter if your hair is darker or a lighter brown, if it's gonna look pretty similar. These colors smell really good too. That's one thing I noticed about the Wella color versus the L'Oreal color. The L'Oreal one doesn't smell as good. The Wella one smells much more gentle. It has a really nice fragrance to it, so it's not just like a super harsh smell. Next up is Chili Red. Here's Chili Red mixed up. It looks exactly the same as Fiery Copper. It's kind of anticlimactic because we're not going to see anything happen until afterwards, so the color just looks like this until it gets done oxidizing. It is interesting to see what the color is going to look like mixed though, because I'm sure once we get towards the more vibrant red colors, they're probably going to come out of the tube more red. Same thing with that purple and that blue. They'll probably come out of the tube purple and blue. I feel like these colors have like a kicker in them. So like for the Chili Red, there's like a red orange kicker that's added into like the regular dye, so that way you get that really vibrant end result. Normally when you're using a permanent color, the color that comes out of the tube is just clear and you have to wait for it to oxidize, but because these lift and deposit color and they're so intense and they're meant to lift super dark hair to like vibrant shades, I feel like they add like a kicker and like a boost of additional color in there, which is why they come out of the tube looking like red or orange. I can already see the lighter brown color turning. Next up is Glowing Garnet, and I'm pretty sure this one's gonna come out red. I was absolutely wrong. It came out clear, which is crazy. I'm sure we'll start seeing it oxidize quickly in the bowl to like a reddish color or pink. This will also be a very interesting like experiment because these swatches obviously are dyed. Like this is not virgin hair. I'm sure the factory who makes these swatches, you know, takes the human hair and dyes it to the level. So this is technically on permanent color right now. You're gonna lift a lot brighter and a lot more vivid if you're putting this on a natural virgin color. You guys see it starting to turn pink. The other thing I like about these is they definitely do work on color. It doesn't have to just be used on virgin hair. It obviously will work better if it's virgin hair and you'll get like a brighter result, but they definitely do lift permanent color out of the hair. Next up is Purple Orchid. This one also came out of the container not colored. All right, let's go in with the purple. When I've tried these shades in the past, I feel like the purple is the one that doesn't give off as much pigment. You'll just have like a little bit of a hue, but it's not like a straight vibrant purple shade. The reds and the oranges always perform the best. And this one also came out white. All right, let's go in with the color I'm most curious about, which is this blue. I kind of love it when they come out white or clear because then it's like a mystery. You know, you're putting white color on and then by the time you're done processing, they like develop. I don't know, it's like magical. I feel like this blue color is going to be beautiful on this lighter brown. I'm not sure it'll show up that much on the darker brown, but I think it'll be so pretty on that lighter color. All right, I'm gonna let these process 30 to 40 minutes and I will be right back so we can see what each color looks like, and then I'm gonna mix up some bleach and we're gonna try and remove them from the hair. All right, we're back. Let me show you the swatches. All right, here are the colors. Look how beautiful each one is. So let's run through them one by one. This is that fiery copper on that lighter brown color. Look how much color payoff you have. It is such a gorgeous, true like copper color. It's really, really pretty. It definitely leans more red, but it's a true fiery copper. Here's what that looks like on darker brown hair. Again, very similar, just a darker version. Here is Chili Red. It is a really dark like burgundy red. It's really, really pretty. It's not super vibrant. It's definitely red, but it's more of like a burgundy, and then when this hits the sun, it's going to glow a little bit more. So this one's a little bit more subtle. Same thing with the Chili Red on darker hair. It's just a darker version of the Chili Red on brighter hair, so it's even more subtle than the one that's on the medium brown. The Glowing Garnet is also really pretty. I would say this one has more of a coppery undertone to it. This one kind of feels like these two mixed together. This one is definitely like a true red. This one has a little bit of like coppery tones to it. It's still red, but those undertones I'm seeing are definitely copper. Again, it kind of seems like a mix of these two. And the same thing with the dark brown. Each color is the same. It's just like a level darker on the dark brown, but honestly, not bad. Like if you have super dark hair like that, it's gonna lift you to a really pretty reddish color. Moving on to the Purple Orchid. These ones are a little disappointing, but this is pretty consistent when you're using a high lift purple on a dark color. It pretty much just goes really dark. It does have a purple hue to it. I think in the sunlight, this would glow a little bit more purple, but right now it kind of just looks like black hair. So I would say it's like a purpley black, and the dark hair is even less noticeable. I really don't see any of those purple undertones like I did with the lighter one. Here you guys can see. You can see a little bit of purple, but not much. Same thing happened with the Blue Moon, which is a little bit disappointing. As you guys can see, there is just the smallest hue of blue, but it almost is like a greenish blue. It's kind of odd. It's like a turquoisey blue, and it's barely noticeable. Again, in the sunlight, I think that this would show a little bit more blue. I would show you, but the sun is not out right now. It's pure clouds, so we wouldn't be able to see it. And here it is on the darker swatch. This is a really, really dark black color. It definitely is an ashy black. I don't really see any blue undertones, but that's what they look like. Again, I think these work really well with the more warmer tones versus the purples and blues. All right, let's put the lightener on the swatches. I'm gonna do halfway down. I don't have any color oops right now, so I would do color oops on these, but I don't have any. But I would recommend using color oops on the L'Oreal high color high lifts or the Wella ones. My friend Jess, she had red hair for like a year and she used the high lift color, and when it was time for her to want to change up her hair, I told her to use color oops, and it got all of the red out of her hair and it lifted her to like a really pretty like brassy orange color, and she actually wound up sticking with that like orangey and just stayed copper because she liked it so much. I definitely recommend trying color oops, especially on these warmer tones right here, and color oops is also meant for permanent color, which these are permanent high lift colors, so it's perfect for this situation where you have red tones. It's permanent color, it's a high lift situation. Definitely recommend trying color oops on these because I'm pretty sure it's gonna work on every shade. The swatches feel really, really soft though. It's such a great way to go copper or red without having to bleach your hair. The hair felt really soft and smooth and it was really, really shiny. All right, I'm gonna let the lightener sit for like 20 minutes and I will be right back so we can see if any of these colors lift out of the hair. All right, you guys, we are back. Let me show you how these colors lifted out of the hair. I am actually so impressed with these results. Obviously, we did not have any blonde swatches, so none of these will lift back to blonde. All these were previously dark, so obviously they're going to lift a little bit more brassy, but overall, they lifted really well out of the hair. The purple, surprisingly, is the one that did not lift very well. It is like a straight orange color, but all these other ones lifted pretty good. Normally with bleach and red, it doesn't like to come out of the hair, but these all lifted really well, especially this like midnight blue, for it to go back to like a brassy color and get all the pigment out of the hair. I'm extremely impressed with just using bleach on these and how well they came out of the hair. I definitely think Color Oops would work a little bit better and wouldn't leave so much of the orange tones behind. But overall, this is very, very typical of what you're going to be left with if you use these to lift your natural color. My friend who used these, she had a brighter red color, and whenever she removed it out of her hair, she was left with like this color right here. It was like a goldeny brassy blonde, and then she just decided to stay like a coppery color. So if you do use these on your natural color to lift, when you remove the pigment out of the hair, you're going to be left with something like this. I actually really like these new shades. The purple was a little lackluster for me and it didn't lift that well out of the hair, but all the other colors were really pretty. I think these are very, very comparable to the L'Oreal High Color. I do tend to like the L'Oreal High Color a little bit better just because they've been around for a really long time. I feel like they've really nailed their formulations, and I do think the results are a little bit more vibrant than these are, but these are also a great option. The scent is really nice and pleasant. They lift out of the hair really well, so if you're looking for a high lift color and you don't want to have to bleach your hair, I would say check these out or check the L'Oreal High Color ones out. I will leave a link to both in the description down below in case you want to try them for yourself. That is all for today's video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Don't forget to check out my Instagram. The link to that is in the description down below. I post way more of my everyday life on there. Give the video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. I love you guys so much, and I will see you in my next video. Bye.